You began a career as a leading cellist and played for symphonies and on your own and so forth. As you've done that, you've now recorded, I think, 90-some albums, or maybe more than that.
I don't know.
An enormous number. You've won 20-some Grammys or something like that. So you've become the dominant figure, the most well-known figure in the classical music world. So does that put a lot of pressure on you to perform up to the highest standard every single time, or can you ever relax a little bit?
You know the phrase that you're only as good as your last performance, right? And some of that is true, because I think what you're talking about, and I don't want to belittle that, is external recognition and facts. Being a musician is internal development, is sort of, there's a tremendous emphasis to say, you collect art. What makes one person that artist and nobody else, right? What makes you David Rubenstein and nobody else? What makes the sounds that I make only possible because of some wish to hear certain sounds a certain way? And I think that's what I spend my life on. And so winning awards is fabulous because it gives you more chances to do something that you might wish to do. We're talking about external recognition versus internal satisfaction and fulfillment. The different levels of pleasure, right? And I think the levels of deep fulfillment, and this is where, the loose term I'm going to use, culture comes along, because if you do things in arts and sciences, in culture, your wish is to build something that's strong enough, a building block that someone else can build on top of.
Today, when you have a life of playing around the world, so how do you pick where to go every year? How far in advance is your schedule set?
I really don't mind what I play and where I play, but I care about how I play and who I play for and with. So, I've kind of decided early on that whether I play, in New York or Jakarta or Peoria, or doesn't matter, or in Waco, Texas, the most important thing I can do is to be totally present and totally engaged. There's nothing more important. And so it's the focus that is there. And what that means is not being present in that I'm delivering a package and here's the package, but more like saying, okay, if I play for a group of people, whether it's kindergartners or inner city school, White House, it is, you think about what you're trying to say, who you're saying it to, but the only thing that's important is that they remember something that will make them perform an action afterwards. So it's living material.
Do you ever have the problem that you're thinking about one thing when you're playing a piece?
When I'm playing, it's about absolute concentration. Nothing.
Right, and so you don't have any mental lapses you're playing?
Well, I can sometimes feel mental lapses coming on.
Do you ever forget a piece? I mean, you forget the notes. For example, you play, you don't use music.
I do sometimes, and sometimes I don't. And what I tell people is, if you want to memorize pieces, do that before you're 21 years old. Because whatever you learn before 21, you remember forever. After you're 40, forget it.
Harder. What about where you play? I mean, is there one music hall that you think is better than the other for acoustics, or your playing?
So again, some people say, okay, this is the greatest hall, therefore it must be fantastic to play. Yes, that gives a certain amount of pleasure, but the greater pleasure is the energy in the audience. Again, we're talking about who you're playing for. Music, live music, is a communion. You don't have to be there. I don't have to be there. So if we're going to spend time together, let's make it count. Because if it doesn't count, if you forget what you did today, tomorrow, and if I forget what I did today, tomorrow, what's the purpose of doing it?